saying I would be Crockett and you would be Tubbs.
Ah, right, okay.
Hey everybody, here we are in the Florida sunshine. Eddie and I making our way to the 2020 SBD World's Strongest Man Final. Woohoo! It's a big comfort that in a year like 2020, through all the chaos and change, Strongman is still there bringing that winter sun and guns. It is, after all, a Christmas tradition. Well, this year's final has an amazing lineup. We've got four-time champion Brian Shaw trying to get a record-equaling fifth title, and we've got no less than four Brits lining up to try and stop him. Honestly, Ed, could we have scripted this any better?
Not judging by your link so far.
That's fair. All right, then, let's have a look at the class of 2020.
I live for Strongman. Strongman's my life. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it. Living the dream, mate.
There's a lot of redemption coming this year. This last two times I was in the final, 15 I was hurt. 14 wasn't, very good performance. I didn't feel. So this year's redemption.
Anything can happen. I'm one of only a couple of guys who's won competitions this year. Got that taste for victory, and I want to get some more.
I'm feeling good, feeling healthy, and have a lot more confidence this year. Now I belong here.
Yeah, I feel great. Mentally, physically, I feel great. I was ready to get this going and get the party started. If I can wake up 100% and peak, then I don't think anybody in the world can beat me.
Ask him how you feel. How you feel?
Good and ready for a win.
This year I come here with one goal. I want to win the title. I have no doubt I can do this.
For me now, I'm actually probably in the best shape I've ever been. My strength's good. I feel great. I am one of the best guys in the world now.
Happy I'm again here and can compete with world's best athletes. Just need to do my best. Then it's possible that I can win.
Tell me if I have to move or anything.
I think the outcome is going to be very good. I think I've got every chance of not only winning this contest, but absolutely dominating this contest.
Well, Eddie, here we are, our very own Field of Dreams, and they have come, the top 10 men in the world. What are they going to be feeling the day of the final before the first event?
Well, a lot of these guys will be walking around very confident, trying to make out they're going to win this show, but trust me, a lot of pressure on these guys. They're going to have a lot of butterflies in their stomach.
Even someone like Brian Shaw?
Especially Brian Shaw. He's got 4 World's Strongest Man titles, he's expected to win his 5th. He's got a lot of pressure on his friends, his family, his fans, and even the other competitors.
They used to call Brian the evolution of Strongman, but it's maybe Strongman that's evolving on him now. We've got a really young field against him.
Yeah, you're right there. I think Brian's creeping up towards 40 years of age, and we've got a couple of 23-year-olds in the final now. The sport is definitely leaning towards the younger guys, the evolution of the sport, the recovery methods, the prep. It's getting more advanced.
Okay, we've got some fabulous events coming up in the final. We're probably going to see some world record attempts as well, but it all begins with the Giants medley, which is right behind us. Only 2 men in the world could handle this. For us, over to Colin Bryce and Danny Wallace.
Thanks, James. Yes, the Giants medley. It is our singing round. It's not really. It's an anvil, 125 kilos, and a yoke.
That's right, a blacksmith's anvil that has to be carried halfway down the course before you pick this bad boy up. 3 motorbikes strapped to a frame. It's £1,000. You've got to run with it down the rest of the course.
So from Latvia then, Smork Stellis did so well in his heat. Surprised a lot of people.
Yes, first time in the final.
And from Britain, it's Bish, Adam Bishop.
9th in the WSM final last year. Well, this pickup on the anvil is absolutely key. Hopefully they're not too sweaty. It's suddenly gone from being hurricane conditions to usual Florida weather, and it's hot. Now, the changeover underneath this super yoke. Take a split second, hopefully, pick it up just right and then get going. And it's Bish, who's really fast.
Well, he is racing, Adam Bishop.
Unbelievable.
Look at the speed on him. 454 kilos on his shoulders.
They forgot to add the weights to the yoke.
He's fired up this year, Adam Bishop.
Well, Smaug Stellis looking a bit more mortal there. That is 1,000 pounds. About 35 seconds or so for Smaug Stellis. What was Bishop?
Seconds. Give it up for
Just
Great Britain.
a stunning run there from Adam Bishop. 22.5 seconds.
With a time of 34.97 seconds.
34.97 for Smaug Stellis.
Smaug Stellis.
It's a good time, but really Bishop just made Smaug Stellis look pedestrian.
Goodness me. What, he was almost feet in the air at one point. It was quite extraordinary. Running with his super yoke.
On to Hicksy then. Graham Hicks.
Representing Great Britain.
Sixth time here, means business this year.
Yes, his first grand final though. So big moment for him.
Representing the United
And up against the
States of
American,
America,
Jerry Pritchett.
Jerry Pritchett.
He's made the grand final twice before, but best place is 9th. Hasn't performed in the grand final. Now then, Graham Hicks on the right, Jerry Pritchett on the left. It's Magnus Ver who gets us underway as head referee. And look at this, Pritchett! It's like a new man there.
Well, just sprinting away from Hicks.
39 years old. He's obviously been working at his foot speed, and the changeover's good as well. Bishop's, what, 22.5 seconds? Is it under pressure?
Well, he won't beat that. But a good time, 24.71 from Pritchett. Hicks having trouble.
Yeah, he's gone down with something. Bicep. How do you do your bicep on the yoke, Hicksy? Well, I guess there's a big stretch there. Unless he did it on this, the anvil. Maybe started it on there.
24.71 seconds from the USA.
Pritchett currently in second place. 24.71 seconds. And this isn't good for Hicks.
For Great Britain's Graham Hicks.
Yeah, he'll get a measurement, but I think that could be his contest over.
Not so, though, for the very fast, very powerful American, Jerry Pritchett. So we'll continue with the Giants medley as the World's Strongest Man Grand Final 2020 continues. Welcome back to the World's Strongest Man Grand Final 2020, where, well, it's been a bit of a mixed bag for the Brits. Hicks sustaining an injury, but Adam Bishop currently leading the Giants medley with a startlingly fast time of 22.55 seconds. Luke Richardson, the man they call the future, well, didn't do as well as he'd wanted. 36.7 seconds, currently in 6th, up against Kevin Ferris, the American, who did marginally better with 26.22, so he is currently in 3rd place. And looking to knock him down a few, the Canadian, JF Caron.
Yes, he's got to be a threat for the title this year. 4th last year.
Very much a dark horse. Up against a big bird. Tom Stoltman, the albatross. That's why I said that.
Yes, he's got an incredible wingspan. 6'8" with a 7-foot man's wingspan. Now then, 275-pound blacksmith's anvil. It's heavy, it's awkward. Kind of think, oh my goodness, kind of think it'll crush your toes, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
That was lucky.
Well, a mistake there from Stoltman. He'll be kicking himself.
Oh no, it's hard to recover from that when the times are so quick. 22.5 seconds. That's a really horrible start. But I'll tell you what, he's going through the gears here pretty quickly.
He is. Oh! What an acceleration there from Tom Stoltman.
Did he get him?
26.92 seconds for Stoltman.
Caron. It was slow and steady. It was, I don't know, there's a fable in there somewhere, Danny. But the Stoltman power, he just was a little too wild on the anvil, and he was leading, easily leading. Amazing, he was able to pick that up in just 2 or 3 seconds.
26.92 seconds from Canada.
Well, Caron, 26.92. Currently in 5th.
What a recovery from Stoltman, crikey.
Knows he should have done better, 26.61. Just that stumble and drop. I mean, he'd be great helping you move house, but you wouldn't trust him with your more expensive stuff. Novikov then.
Novikov.
Very charismatic.
First time in the final for him.
The 4-time
Up against an old favourite. He's won it 4 times before, wants to make it 5th. Brian Shaw.
13 times he's been here in the grand final. He's won those 4 titles in probably the hardest period ever in strongman history. Now then, can he make it number 5? Oh, look at Novikov!
The speed of this man is ridiculous.
It's outrageous. I mean, he's 70-odd kilos lighter than Brian Shaw, but he packs a punch, and he's no problem with this 1,000-pound yoke either.
Now starting to drag it now.
He's gone off course there. I think he hit the curb, actually.
Still a very good time for Novikov.
Great recovery, and Brian Shaw, slow and steady, but maybe just too slow.
Well, it's 22.55 to beat. We know he didn't do that, but will he have got 2nd place? Brian Shaw not happy. 27.03 puts him in 7th.
Yeah, it just seemed to lack foot speed. I mean, that's tough though, isn't it? 27 seconds down to 22 odd. He's in 7th from 1st.
And 23.79 seconds for Novikov.
Yeah, it was a full second gap in the end for Bishop's win, but he did go down. He went off course, but great recovery. What an athlete this young man is.
Well, looking at the standings so far, that torn bicep spells the end of Hicks's competition, very sadly. Tom Stoltman, despite the mistake, well, he's in midfield. Novikov, he beat Shaw, but he couldn't catch Bishop, who, if you remember, only made the final as a result of Singleton's injury in his heat. He's now at the top of the leaderboard, and he's with James and Eddie.
Adam Bishop, who very nearly wasn't in this final, is currently leading it. Adam, what happened there?
Yeah, it was a great event for me. My yoke training's been going really well, so I mean it's always tough going out first, but unfortunately my time held up.
I mean, the heat events were very bad for you, and I think we said this from the get-go. The final event's going to suit you much better. You just won the first one, max deadlift. You were just telling me behind the scenes it's gone really well. What are you expecting to pull on that?
I'm expecting 500 plus on that deadlift. It's a bit of a different setup I'm used to, but you know, an elevated deadlift is a deadlift, so let's get after it.
Another win?
Another win, hopefully, yeah, that's what we're going for.
Adam, you should be good at holding mass because your name's Bishop, am I right? Anyway, congratulations on your early lead. Next up, our set 2 of Sinew is set to continue with the deadlift, and it's a special one, an 18-incher. It's something we haven't seen at World's Strongest Man since 1983, Christchurch, New Zealand, when Tom McGee lifted an incredible 1,180 pounds, 535.2 kilos.
And he's done it. We've witnessed history being made here. Success for Tom McGee in one of the hardest and most unforgiving events anyone here can remember.
It's a record that stands to this day, not least because he did it with cheese. I don't know, it was New Zealand. Will we see a greater performance today? Over to Colin and Danny.
Well, thanks, James. So we move on then to the deadlift, and this is proper strongman stuff, Colin.
Absolutely. Well, we've gotten rid of the cheese, but it is an 18-inch deadlift off the floor with these giant train wheels. Opening weight, 397 kilograms. Yes, it's heavier than a normal deadlift. It's twice the height where you pull it from. Well, we've had a few rounds so far, and it's going up and up. It's a rising bar competition. We will find the strongest. Right now, we're entering into round 4. So after 3 rounds, this is how it looks.
And a surprise casualty down there, the Brit Luke Richardson.
Yes, just getting through round 1, but failed round 2. He's the Junior World Powerlifting Champion. Kevin Ferris and Smaug Stellers too. They're out. 6 men left in.
And here's one of them, Brian Shaw. So he survived 3 rounds.
509 kilograms. That's well heavier than Eddie Hall's famous half-ton lift, but it is 18 inches. It's a higher pull, so Shaw should be getting this. Oh my goodness me. It's a shock to him. It's a shock to everybody.
Just a real moment there where you could just tell this was not going to work for Brian Shaw.
Well, he could say he wasn't the fastest strongman, but you have to be pulling big weights here, Danny, if you're going to be the world's strongest man. Now then, Caron, 509. He's got a powerlifting background. very long arms as well, and that certainly helps.
A heck of a grunt on him as well as he pulls it up, locks out. That's good.
Oh, he knows it as well. That was pretty easy as well, comfortable. That'll make Shaw's failure there hurt all the more. So 4 men to go. I wonder what weight he could go up to. That world record is 535 kilos. That's only 26 kilos more. I think he's good for that.
It's waiting for him, isn't it? Yes. Stoltman then. Stoltman the younger. Always watched on by his best friend and brother.
Let's go, Tom.
He's always more nervous as well, Luke. This is a massive moment of intensity, aggression. He's got to focus fully. Ooh.
No.
That was rooted to the ground, as they say.
It was going nowhere.
Yeah. 478 kilos. He's equal with Shaw. Failing here in round 4.
The Iron Outlaw, Jerry Pritchett.
It's hard when you're 6'8". Now, he has got long arms to overcome that disadvantage. Now then, the Iron Outlaw. Massive deadlifter.
Oh, look at that.
Good lift.
Oh, I thought he might have lost something because he's so fast and trim this year, but he's still got the big back strength. But I don't think there's much more there.
I'm glad that's what you consider trim, Colin. Paints me in a very good light. Excellent work there from Jerry Pritchett.
Representing Ukraine.
So, the power, explosive power of Novikov.
Yeah, will it translate here? This is just absolute strength. The lightest man in the final. I mean, this is, what? Best part of 4 times body weight, virtually.
Wow, look at that. It seems there's...
That wasn't too bad, was it?
Very little this man can't do, despite his lighter frame.
Do you want to know a great story? He's got a photo with Mark Felix, age 6, when Mark Felix went to the Crimea for Crimea's strongest man. Isn't that great?
That is.
Now here he is.
Representing Great Britain.
So, what's Bish got? Such an amazing start.
Last man in the round. And, on that first event, I just sort of start to feel like this could be Bish's year. He gets through on a lucky, if you like, injury on another athlete, and won the stone off, won the first event in the final, and guess what? This is his favourite event.
Wow, look at this from Adam Bishop.
Oh my goodness.
What a year he's having.
Yes, he's just managed to pull pretty much his absolute best there. So I don't think he could have got much more out there. If the referees had called 5:15, he wouldn't have got it. That was right on the limit.
Well, he did it, and we saw him pop his slippers back on and find a dark corner somewhere. So 4 men move on. Caron, Pritchett, Novikov and Bishop. The next weight, Colin, well, that'll be a world record.
Yes, 537.5 kilograms. 2.5 kilos over the old world record, and it stood for a very long time. 4 men have a shot at it. How much has it taken out of them so far, though?
Well, as you say, this record has been around since 1983.
Representing Canada,
And JF Caron fancies a little update.
That's a good way of putting it, yeah. Now then, 1,185 pounds, if that's how you like to think. I think he has to be one of the men who looked good enough in the last round to do this. Ooh.
No, not for him, not today.
Well, if you get this, this is really going to be something special now. Maybe Novikov. I don't think Bishop looked good enough to do it. Jerry Pritchett too. Gosh, I wonder if all 4 will go out on the same weight. That's always possible, and then you'll have a massive point-sharing scenario. Gosh, that barely got off the ground at all. This might be a step too far.
Let's hear it one more time for JF Caron.
Get him some liquids. Shout someone.
Yeah, it's very hot. Probably has a little cramp coming in.
So Pritchett now vying for his place in history.
I think he's going to need some divine help here because he wasn't that convincing in the previous round, though he is a slow puller, Danny. So it's hard to tell, a bit like Zaviskus used to be. Same steady pace at every weight.
Well,
come on, Jerry!
Very close.
He's got the option to do it again, but he's not going to give it a go.
No.
That's it. Well, it'll fall down to the shoulders of Novikov and Bishop now to try and get this world record. Look at the bend on that bar.
Well, he's always surprising. You never know what he can do.
137.5 kilos himself. He's, what, even less than that? I mean, it's over 400 kilos over body weight. I mean, it's just colossal. That alone must be some kind of record way to do it. But
well, this record is older than he is. This guy is 24.
Well, this would really put a statement out there. Whoever pulls this kind of weight, a world record in the deadlift, you start calling him the world's strongest man in a powerlifting meet. Oh!
My goodness me. Well, that's a world record.
You bet it is. There's more there if he has to. Let's see what Bishop can do. Can he match him?
Well, that's just a stunning result there for Novikov, who seems fine afterwards.
From Ukraine, give it up for Alexei!
Yeah, cheeky smile there. And he knows it. Yeah, have some of that, he's saying. Well, he might be the lightest. He might be the fastest. He might even be the shortest now. Hicksy's out, but goodness me, he's right up there when it comes to static strength. Absolute power. Only Bish can now ruin his party in this, Danny.
Well, absolutely. And for Bishop, of course, beating the world record just got a lot harder.
Yes, he can draw the world record now, and then we'd have to go up again to round 6. But he's coming out. He was tight on the last one. I'm not sure whether his belt was too tight or what, but everything about it was tight. Tight in terms of just getting it up. Must admit, I don't see this going up. Not after the last weight, anyway.
Believe in Britain, Brycey.
Right then. Come on, Bish.
You didn't believe hard enough, Brycey.
No.
That's a good effort, though, from Adam Bishop, just beaten. So the new world record stands.
Yeah, it takes more than belief. He just didn't have the power today. Simple as that. But hey, he's in a steam company with the likes of Caron and Jerry Pritchett. Gave it his all. He gets it off the ground. Yes, an inch or so. Couldn't get it past his knees, the crucial point. So there's one man who has to be hailed as the new world record holder, the new king of deadlift, and that is Alexei Novikov.
And get used to the name. First place and a new world record from Novikov. Removing cheese from strongman history while he was at it. 537.5 kilos on an 18-inch deadlift. Well, that was enough to move him into first place overall and earn him a place in world strongman history. So while he chills, literally chills, next up, my favourite event, the keg toss.
Welcome back. It's the 2020 SPD World's Strongest Man in Bradenton, Florida. And as evening falls on the first day of our final, for the men dreaming of the ultimate strength title, the tension grows. 2 events in, there's a new surprise leader. Courtesy of that world record in the deadlift, it's Alexei Novikov. But there's a long way to go before anyone can claim this year's crown. Next up, under the lights, it's the keg toss. Over to Colin and Danny.
Well, you've got to love the keg toss. 8 kegs, getting heavier and heavier, to be thrown over a 15-foot bar. Well, Luke Richardson went first. Managed 8 in 27.82 seconds. After him, it was the turn of the Latvian, Smok Stelis, also managed all 8 in 24.88. The American Brian Shaw was next, managed them even faster, 21.75 seconds. And he was followed by his fellow American, Kevin Ferris. Only managed 6. So that's where we are. Throwing kegs. And it's very much like throwing a very well-fed bulldog backwards over a semi-detached house. Tom Stoltman next.
Ready!
There's the first one. Very quick. Really clearing that 15-foot bar.
Fantastic, 4 over. He has to do 8 though in 21.75 seconds. That's an incredible benchmark he's chasing.
Look at this. I think he's done it. Look at that. Wow, that's a great time for Stoltman. 20.05 seconds, immediately taking the lead.
He seems chilled, his big brother doesn't know.
Well, I mean, this was Shaw's to lose, and thanks to Stoltman, he's just lost it.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Brian Shaw, I've only ever seen him lose once, and that was to Hafthor Bjornsson. That's a massive statement right there, and it wasn't a tight win either. It was well over a second. He was launching some of those so high, it was a danger to low-flying planes, I think.
On to Caron then.
Representing Canada, JF Caron.
Let's see how much homework Caron has done coming into this.
Behind the line.
This isn't the kind of event where he would naturally come top 3, but he's got great explosive lower back power. It's whether he can keep his cool. Wow, those are He's got to really gamble to try and beat Stoltman's time, though. Just got to grip and rip.
He really is taking no chances with these, is he?
It's when it touches the ground, the final one. Watch the clock.
Wow. What? So close. 20.31 seconds. Just nipping at the heels of Stoltman, but not enough.
With 8 kegs in
If he hadn't hit the bar on the way down, it was, you know, net in a game of tennis, as it were. Yeah, second, I'm afraid, monsieur. He's such a good human guy, he really is.
The keg toss as well is why JF Caron got 5 from that pub, of course.
Yes.
Representing the United
On to
States
Jerry
of
Pritchett
America,
then.
Jerry
Knows he has to be
Pritchett.
incredibly fast.
Well, he's a man in his 40th year of life. We don't normally speed up, and I haven't seen him win a keg toss before, but he's got some wild power. Too wild.
A little too wild, yes. He needs a bit more discipline there, and he knows it.
I think he's actually stepping back too close to the bar, and now he's really close. He's underneath it.
Wow. Managed it.
Yeah, he's a bit more conservative with his energy, and that's the right thing to do if he's going to get all of these over now. See, he's not finishing his pull-off. Watch, he's got bent arms as he throws it.
Must finish your pull-off. Got to get it up.
Yeah, and he's done it, you know, Danny. That was great there. So, one more to go. Surely fatigue's kicking in now. 15 seconds to go, and well, this is really working on your ATP anaerobic power, and it burns out quickly. It's gone.
It has. It's gone. Well, didn't manage 8. Nowhere near 20.05.
No, 7 for him then.
With 7 kegs in 39.94 seconds. Give it up for USA's Jerry
The points are being mixed around now. This is fascinating. It's great news for Tom Stoltman. Pritchett, I think if he'd have trained a bit more at this, or just got a win behind him, he could have been very quick indeed.
On to Adam Bishop then.
The reigning Britain's strongest man, Adam Bishop.
Yeah, great day so far.
He must enjoy hearing that Britain's strongest man title. I mean, he beat Tom Stoltman there and Luke Stoltman. And he's very proficient at throwing as well. Ooh, yes, that was good. He's trying to be as professional about this as possible and just get it over the bar.
Well, this is fast.
That's right. I mean, Stoltman did just over 20 seconds. Caron too. We're getting very close.
It's going to be tight. Oh, man.
I think he could have done Shaw there. Now he's just got to get it over and get the points. This is what happens. You burn out so quickly. He's got to take his time.
He was in line for second there.
Oh, yes, he's done it. 39 seconds, Danny, for the 8.
Well, 39.9 for Adam Bishop, but it could have been so much better.
Opportunity missed, isn't it? Massive opportunity. That was, I think, ahead of Brian Shaw. Just ahead of him, maybe. At worst, it would have been behind him in 4th. Lost some vital points there. Great explosive power, Bish. Just one misfiring muscle and the keg didn't go off.
This is the 2020 SBD World's Strongest Man.
So we move on
Next up,
to Novikov.
From Ukraine,
And, well, based on what we know about him, based on his day, this could be fast.
He's got plenty of lower back power, that's for sure. And he's got massive amounts of speed as well. We've seen that in the first event. Now then, the new world record holder in the 18-inch deadlift. Wow. He's going for a sideways grip. Interesting.
Yeah, very different technique.
You often find the guys who have longer legs suit that. He's not exactly the tallest, is he? About 6 foot, maybe?
Well, he's not going to beat Stoltman.
No, but he's making no doubt about it. Each one of these is going well over.
Well, absolutely. Whatever he said, I agree with. And that was a very fast time.
I thought he said fast. He was.
From Ukraine, Alexei Novikov.
Now he's all 8 in 26.96. Puts him in 5th place.
Yeah, he was so far over with all of those. You just wonder whether he actually needed to be quite so deliberate about each keg, whether he could have just rolled the dice a bit more, gone for it. He's happy. Right now he's on good points, so.
The winner of event 3, the keg toss, representing Great Britain, Tom Stoltman.
Well, a great event for a great contender. He's happy, Tom's happy, Sinead's happy on the phone there, Tom's wife. So we move into day 2 as the SBD World's Strongest Man Grand Final continues. And that keg will land as a boulder.
Welcome back. It's morning of day 2 of the SBD World's Strongest Man Final. And here in Bradenton, Florida, there's work to be done. At the midway point, it's Alexei Novikov leading the way in his first ever final, with Caron and Bishop 3 points behind, Tom Stoltman half a point behind them, and Brian Shaw still down in 6th. Next up, fire in the hold with the Strongman Classic, the Rain Hercules Hold.
Thanks, James. Yes, it is a classic. 320 kilos in the hands. And the rules are simple. Just hold on. Kevin Ferris, he managed to hold on for 49.22 seconds, setting the bar.
Well, that would certainly prove to be a solid time, as Jerry Pritchett came out and did just under 43 seconds.
Then it was our own Adam Bishop. And he managed 28.4, which puts him at the back of the queue at the moment.
Brutally hard on the grip. Young Luke Richardson, 35.12. Didn't match the Americans who'd gone before.
So could Novikov do any better? Well, yes, 41.63, moving him into 3rd.
So the time of Ferris, still the one to chase. That was the turn of the Latvian. Smaukstelis went early. Disappointing time for him, 28.17. He's the back of the pack.
So we rejoin the action with Brian Shaw.
He's almost as big as the pillars, isn't he? He suddenly makes the equipment look small, Danny. And chasing Kevin Ferris's time, 49.22 seconds. It's the old go find a happy place while your body's on fire. You're in a world of pain. The only way out is mentally. And he's tough mentally, Shaw, for sure. Boy, does he need a big win here.
Well, he's up to 30 seconds already, 49.22 to beat.
He's wobbling, his fingers are opening.
That's a surprise.
Time of 34.79 seconds. Let's hear it for USA's Brian Shaw.
Lost his grip.
Yeah, currently in 5th, and that's not great.
Is he losing his grip on a title hope?
I think that's very true, Danny. Things are not looking good for big Brian Shaw with 2 events to go and more men to come here. And this man, he's got the claw. He can slap on and hold a Hercules hold. Probably only Mark Felix can beat this guy. He's really talented at this.
Yeah, he loves these events, Hercules hold.
He's just the kind of guy who can suck up pain. Loves it.
Get set.
See those mighty, brawny forearms. His head up. Some of them are bent double over. Not at all with JF. He wants to get the oxygen in, keep breathing, try and relax at the start. His mouth, his face, it's all relaxed.
I've seen more relaxed men.
Okay, for a man being pulled apart by 2 giant pillars. This is biblical, Danny. He's pretty relaxed. That was a smile almost.
So that's 30 seconds already for Caron. And no real signs of weakness.
Yes, I think his grimace actually looks like a smile. He's solid here at 40 seconds. He's zoning in on the lead here. 5 seconds to go and he'll be in front.
Well, he's starting to go. Just hold on, JF Caron, and he has.
Well, the best ever, 1 minute 11. That was done by Tom Omit, but very few people have been over 50 seconds.
52.67 then for JF Caron. Fantastic time.
He's enjoying that. He knew he'd do well at that. I wouldn't say it's a banker. It never is for anybody. It can always suddenly go wrong on the day, but I think he's performed just spot on there. Now, one more man to come.
Yeah, and it's Tom Stoltman with those giant arms. He won the keg toss, so he gets the honour of going last. Means he knows exactly what he has to do.
For all the physicists out there watching this, looking at this going, hang on, surely if he's got really long arms, then those pillars are going to be hanging lower and a lot heavier. You can take links of chain out, so it should bring it right up to the stoppers you see down the bottom there, so everyone gets it at the same angle. He's pulled in at the start. That can work, but he's starting to relax his shoulders, and they're getting further out. And I tell you what, the weight multiplies quickly. He's got to be careful, Big Tom.
Wow. He didn't look comfortable from the off, and that's it. 21.23 for Tom Stoltman, and that puts him in last in this event.
With a time of 21.23 seconds. Give it up for Great Britain's Tom
Wow, what a mixed bag this man's had. 9th place at the moment here, and that's last. I mean, Graham Hicks is out, so no one else could actually do worse than this. That's a terrible shame. Man, he dropped the anvil in the first event. Yeah, he's still in the mix somehow.
Well, that is disappointing for our Brits. Stoltman at the bottom. Bishop not far off, losing ground on their title hopes. Another strong showing for Caron, though. So we have Brits in 4th and 5th, but it's Caron and Novikov who tie for 1st after 4 events.
Well, looking remarkably composed after that Rain Hercules hold is JF Caron, who's gone into a tie of the lead in this World's Strongest Man final. Jeff, first of all, you went longer than anybody else, and you look more comfortable than anybody else.
I'm happy because after 8 finals, it's my first win.
Your first event win here?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
JF, 2 events to go, the log press and the Atlas stones. Now, we're not quite sure what Novikov can do on them. I think you've got more of a better idea, but 2 events to go. How do you think it's going to go down?
You know, it will be really close until the end, I think. Log is not my best event. I know Novikov is also good, but we have a lot of good log presser here. It will be interesting to know, but you know, it's not finished until the stones.
That's true. The first Canadian to win the world's strongest man is standing right there.
Yeah, you make me pressure now.
Well, you said, Jeff, coming into this, that it's now or never for you. This year is the year.
Yes, maybe, you know, I compete with this in my mind. It's all or nothing.
All on the line, 2 events to go. Best of luck, Jeff.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, the big Canadian in his 8th final on the brink of making history. Event 5 awaits. Welcome back. JF Caron is leading the 2020 SPD World's Strongest Man final. There's 2 events to go. Next up, big dogs and big logs. With the boys carrying some timber, it's over to Colin and Danny.
Thank you, James. Yes, it is the log ladder.
Like a thing of beauty, Danny, it lays out in front of them. 5 logs in each lane. 132 kilos all the way up to 400 pounds, 182.5 kilos. And Tom Stoltman sadly has the honour of coming out first on his own. So once he's done 1 log, just straight on to the next. It's timed each one. Once you've done all 5, that's you. Assuming you get there, because it's a huge big daddy of a log at the end. Well, that was easy enough.
Come on.
Well, he's on his own, as you say. No one to compare with. Can be a lonely life, the lone life of the strong man.
Yes, indeed. It could be, but he's focused, Danny. He's looking good here. 20 seconds gone. Number 3 goes up.
Come on. Let's take
The loneliness of the long-distance log presser. Number 4. That was great. Remember, 6'8" man here with long arms.
It's a strong showing from Tom Stoltman.
And, well, this log is put out there to really spit the whole field out. They're expecting maybe 1, maybe 2 men to do this. If he does it, it'll be massive.
Power!
He does. He locks out with the encouragement.
Yes, he's got it. He's got it. He was worried he hadn't been given it. But yes, Magnus Van Magnussen, head referee. And a slap on the butt from his brother. That's proof it's a goodie. Well done. Amazing. On his own as well. He could have easily faded away there.
So all 5, which is amazing enough, but in a great time, 49.45 seconds.
Well, 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 you start to think, are these going to be heavy enough for all the guys? Are they going to fly through them? Look at that, though. Great technique. Kept his cool. He's so calm. It's his brother, I guess, who has all the nerves.
So it'll be the Latvian, Smork Stellis, not on his own. He'll be going up against Adam Bishop.
2 men very similarly built, actually, both exceptionally athletic.
That's fine. That doesn't hurt.
It's rather nice, actually. I could do with one of those.
Don't get a strong man to do it. That's my tip. So we're off.
Down. Very quick from Bish there. Actually, he almost snatched it. That's where you just chuck it straight from the ground all the way up. The hip snatch even just hits it with his hips.
That was a great lift from Adam Bishop there.
Yeah. Smork Stellis taking it to the shoulders, more traditional route. Bish gets a little cocky there in the 3rd. Oh! Yeah. He tried just to snatch it from his hip again, right the way up to the top, and failed to get there. He's just got to take it easy now, a little conservative. Hit with the legs, no problem. That's it. Keep your cool. Well done, Bish.
Well, he managed it with the 2nd. As you say, got overconfident, and now he's broken his rhythm. Smork Stellis just patting the log there. It is polite to pat the log. But Bishop struggling with the 4th.
So I had no idea about that rule in log pressing, Danny.
No, it's just polite.
I like it though.
So what does Bishop have left in the tank?
Right, you can do it faster, he says. He's got to get this one up to get number 4. Wow. No, that number 3 took him 3 efforts.
Yeah, a lot of effort there for Bishop. Having to start again, but also just that psychological pressure of thinking, did I make a stupid mistake there? So 41.24 for Smork Stellis, but Bishop only manages 3 in 37 seconds.
That's enough. The answer is yes, they are not actually. Why not gamble? He's in the grand final. He wants to win, doesn't he? Tried to snatch it up, and it just didn't quite make it. If he'd have taken it onto the chest first time, he'd have got that.
Next up, in the log ladder.
On to Brian Shaw.
4 times world's strongest man, representing the United States of America, Brian Shaw!
Gosh, it wouldn't be world's strongest man without Brian Shaw, that's for sure. It's
from Great Britain.
And going on as a rookie, as a debutant, going up against someone like Brian Shaw.
It must be off-putting. You almost shrink just being next to him. And really, obviously, he's massive as well. Someone like Luke Richardson, he's a big boy, but well, Brian's just quite unique.
Well, that was a great first lift by Brian Shaw.
Yeah, he was like a champion hurdler over the log as well. Here we go, number 2, no problem. He's just ahead of Luke. I was wondering whether they were going to run round them or hop over them. It's the hop technique now. Number 3 for Shaw. Hey, he can be caught. No. Did he get that one? Yes, he did. Steady by Shaw. Very steady, almost a bit too deliberate. Again, it seems to be the way he's become. He's almost overly professional at everything. And, well, Richardson, do you know what? He's in his first world's strongest man. He's got 3 logs up there, and I think actually there's so much energy being burnt by him just being here, being around the guys. I think he struggled to sleep the first few nights. Heck of an achievement. Oh my goodness! He's going to do Shaw at the last minute. Unbelievable.
Well, that's extraordinary from Luke Richardson. Just a fantastic performance from Europe's strongest man. Just nipping in there and taking it away from Shaw.
Gosh, all eyes on Big Shaw, and he just so much belief in himself, carries on with his own game, and, well, a log more than the big man. 3 and 27.91. That'll be hugely disappointing for Brian. He seemed to just struggle with that third one. He's just not quite there this year. But that kind of weight should be easy, really.
Representing the United States of America.
So Jerry Pritchett then. Very good at this event.
Hyper-focused.
Representing Ukraine.
Not sure what's going on there.
Alexei Novikov.
But if it works, it works. Novikov.
So the American on the left, Novikov on the right. It's Novikov, that's incredible speed. Hey! Parkour.
He likes to build some hurdles.
Down.
Oh, maybe not the wisest idea, though.
I'm not sure he has to replace it back there, but put your toys back, I like it. Number 3.
Down.
Easy.
There's that target, 49 seconds for the 5 for Stoltman. And this number 4 will be the fastest 4 so far.
Wow, that is very quick. Around about 32 seconds.
Yeah, wants a little help. Sadly, there's a bit of a pandemic crowd. It's not exactly huge, but they're giving him some. This will be quicker if he hits it early.
Just shorted out, didn't he? But Pritchett.
Get away.
Well, Novikov thought all eyes were on him, and while that was happening, Pritchett just pushed it through.
That's twice that's happened. What a surprise. Davai, come on. Last roll of the dice, 75 seconds are up.
Well, beaten, and he won't be happy. But Pritchett.
He's the man. He really is the man. He's got his act together big time.
0.68 seconds. Give it up for Ukraine's Alexei Novikov.
Fastest 4, Danny. 32
With
seconds
5
there.
logs and 51.18 seconds.
And with all 5, 51.18, Jerry Pritchett.
Do you know what? He was pressing that last log for a few seconds as well. He wasn't a mile away from Stoltman's time if he'd have been quicker earlier on.
Well,
Like
still 2 men to go
Next up,
with the log ladder.
representing the United States of America,
Pritchett's country mate, Kevin Ferris.
Yes, the man from Utah.
representing Canada,
And their neighbour to the north, JF Caron.
The Quebecin. Indeed.
Gesundheit. So a focused Ferris.
All eyes right now, though, on JF Caron, especially if you're Canadian. This man could become the first ever world's strongest man for Canada, and he's really on a roll. Oh, look at this.
Twisting those up, just like Bishop did. Of course, this is where Bishop faltered slightly, so what will Caron do?
He's gone for safety, gone to the shoulders to...
He's having trouble.
That's not good, is it, at all?
Meanwhile, Ferris nips ahead.
Crikey, JF, don't have a collapse now. You've got to get this.
No.
Like kryptonite above his head. The previous one, it's only 25 pounds lighter. It flew up. Oh my goodness, Ferris goes to the fourth. He's going to be a hard man to catch now for Caron. That's a lot of people who've done well so far. He's got to get the fourth one up, that's for sure.
Surely not the fifth for Ferris.
That would be extraordinary, wouldn't it? I mean, the fifth one there for Ferris is 40 kilos heavier than him.
Well, Ferris says no. Caron seems to have thrown in the towel a little early, and the time has run out.
Well, he had, I guess, the third log on his shoulders for about half the time. Goodness knows what happened there. JF Caron. Well, if he doesn't make the podium now, he will remember this moment for a very long time.
As will Kevin Ferris. Great performance, 4 in 46.67. Places him in 5th so far.
Yes, and Caron was 9th in that. Unbelievable. That is punishing. Especially when you consider how good his max log is. It's like he just hit a wall there. I don't know. Capitulated. Fatigue. Who knows?
So Tom Stoltman strode out alone to press his case for the podium. Disaster for JF Caron. He was joint leader going into this event, but it's Alexei Novikov, the fastest to 4, and suddenly he's clear at the top of the standings. The final placings, of course, they'll be determined after the Atlas Stones, and those stones are next on the SBD World's Strongest Man Grand Final.
And here it is, the final act of this year's competition, and it is the event that has crowned so many champions over the years.
Off we go.
I am the strongest! I am the mighty!
Just look at Taylor. He's done it. The fastest time of anybody. This is real emotion for Magnus Berg Magnusson.
Here he is at 440 for the win, and he gets it.
Mariusz Pudzianowski. Can he become world's strongest man? Yes, he can.
For 5 times we have said it, we'll say it again. Mariusz Pudzianowski is the Metrics World's Strongest Man. He's got it. Zydrunas Savickas has dethroned the king. The 4th title for Big Z, joining elite company.
If Eddie Hall gets this stone on that plinth, he is the world's strongest man.
I did it! Yes! I love you, Dan. I love you. We have a new champion.
And with this, he becomes the world's strongest man.
Surreal, dude. I don't know if I'm dreaming right now.
Well, here is reigning champion for just a little bit longer, Martins Licis, and the 2017 World's Strongest Man, Eddie Hall. Martins, we just saw you there a year ago, Manatee Beach. What was that last stone run like?
That was surreal. I remember I was going into that event with everybody telling me, Martins, you've already won it. It's done. You're the world's strongest man. And I just had to like kind of cancel out all those voices because like anything could go wrong. I could totally mess up that first stone, hurt myself and not finish the series, and then I'm not the world's strongest man. So I just had to focus in, one more event, smooth run. I didn't even care if I was the fastest. I just needed to finish all the stones. And I remember everything went to slow motion. And I just, the stones felt so light, so easy. Everything felt nice, slow and smooth. And in the end of it all, turned out I had the fastest run.
Incredible, incredible. 2017, Eddie, when you won it, you had the exact same lead going into it that Alexei Novikov has got now. How does he approach this?
Well, there's two ways. Because he's going out last, you can either do the bare minimum. For example, he might only have to do 4 stones in the quickest time, but knowing Novikov and watching him throughout the contest, he's more than likely going to go all out and try and win this event.
Okay. He has a 4-point lead, but it is sport and it is the stones, and anything can happen. Colin, Danny, over to you.
Well, thanks, James. Yes, the marquee events, the Atlas Stones. These are the guys that went so far. Luke Richardson managed 3 in 1802 on his debut.
He enjoyed it. But then it was the turn of big Brian Shaw. He went out with a flurry, that's for sure. He's our current leader for all 5 stones in 28.55 seconds.
Then it was the turn of Latvia's Smork Stellis. Didn't manage 5, did manage 4. Did manage to surprise us in this competition.
Undoubtedly. So too Ferris. It's been a bag of tricks all the way through. He managed 4 in 24.73.
And just nipping ahead of him, Adam Bishop managed 4 in 24.3. He's eyeing a top 5 spot right now. Whereas Tom Stoltman remains focused on the podium.
Yes, we're down to our final 4. This is it. One of these men are likely to be off the podium in 4th, and Caron's been there before. He was there last year. Will he be the 3rd ever Canadian to get on the podium?
Behind the line, guys.
Tom Stoltman theoretically still has a chance. If he wins this stones and others falter, he could yet win the whole World's Strongest Man title, and he's a heck of a stone lifter on the left-hand side. The big Scotsman is charging.
Well, he's incredibly fast at the best of times. This is a very fast performance from Tom Stoltman.
Trying to beat that time, 5 in 28 seconds by big Brian Shaw.
Well, Stoltman has done it in under 20 seconds, it looked like.
It was close to that anyway. 33% quicker than the rest. Look at this. JF Caron, he does not want to be 4th again.
Great work from Caron.
Well, sticking that on, who knows? Is that going to keep Stoltman off the podium? Doesn't matter. He's had a great run of things. His brother's a bag of nerves, isn't he?
He certainly is. So while we wait for his time,
there's a lovely scene there. 2 Stoltman brothers, the strongest brothers in the world. That's what they've been dubbed. Couldn't make both of them into the grand final this year, but...
Well, Caron manages all 5 in 34.03. I just told you.
Our 5 stones in
he's in 3rd. Tom Stoltman's the leader. Big Brian Shaw now sandwiched between these 2.
Well, all 5 in 19.89.
King of the Stones, baby.
King of the Stones, baby. Absolutely. Look at that. That was a Stones masterclass, as you'd expect from a Scotsman. That meant a lot to him. As ever. Remembering his mum. Big moment.
Next up then, well, Novikov. So fast, so powerful.
Enjoying himself even. How dare he? He should be a bag of nerves, surely.
Well, another very calm contender in Jerry Pritchett. Almost zen.
Isn't he? Well, Jerry surprised me at every turn. Maybe not as much as Novikov on the left-hand side, though, as we look at it. And we're underway. Does he have a little chink in the armour here, Novikov? Or is he the greatest stone lifter too?
Well, this is very good, quick work from Novikov. Seems no trouble.
He's so springy and explosive. He's not messing around. Is he going to go for all 5? He's done it. I think he's done enough. He's had it confirmed. This then is showboating, if you like.
Well, that's what we want. This man can show us why he deserves it.
That's what happens when you don't really need it.
Come on, Novikov.
Big Jerry.
Well, Jerry needs this one. It will put him on the podium.
Come on, Jerry. Goodness, I'm not sure he's got much time left. 10 seconds is all there is. And Novikov wants to finish this in style as well. Pitch is exhausted. There's no way for him. But Novikov
doesn't quite manage it, but has done enough.
Wow.
Jerry, so close, yet so far.
Gosh, that's gotta hurt. He knows it. He'd done the maths.
Ladies and gentlemen,
So too had he.
the winner of the
Maths
2020
very much in his favour.
World's Strongest Man from the Ukraine.
World's strongest man. Sounds good in Ukrainian or English to him, I think.
Well, what a worthy competitor. A man so in control, but he can't control his emotions now. Alexei Novikov is the world's strongest man.
Oh, must sound good. Well, no doubt doing this in the memory of his grandfather, who was his coach, who sadly passed away just a couple of weeks ago, and he said this was for him, and he's done it. He's gone and done it.
So Novikov, of course, takes first. Look at the final standings, an agonising miss for the podium from Jerry Pritchett. Caron, on his 10th attempt, takes bronze. And look at that from Tom Stoltman. He is the second strongest man in the world, and he's with Eddie now.
Tom, second place at the World's Strongest Man. Just tell me how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, I feel speechless. You know, if I came here and got top 3, it would have been a bonus. But yeah, to come runner-up is a dream come true. You know, so the hard work paid off, and it showed this year. So I'm ecstatic.
All right, I'm thinking you made a promise a few years back to your mum to win the World's Strongest Man. And Luke, how much does this mean to you as well, buddy?
I feel like I've won World's Strongest Man watching Tom. You know, every time I watch Tom, everyone laughs at me. I shout it's from the pits of my stomach. I shout for Tom, and he's just the most incredible human being I've had the privilege of ever knowing. And you know, he made a couple of mistakes. He just held it together like an absolute beast. Winning 3 events in the World's Strongest Man final, man, that's epic. And next year, watch out, man. This is just the beginning for Tom.
Do you think that promise is going to be kept?
Yeah, man. It's we don't break promises, so he's
100% is getting kept.
That's good to hear, man. Hug it out, guys. Come on, let's get it in. Well done. Well done.
Well done.
So second place for the brilliant Tom Stoltman. Still plenty of years ahead of him. And this guy, in fact, at just 24. The Ukrainian, Alexei Novikov, did exactly what he knew he would do, and did it in style. Alexei Novikov is the world's strongest man.
And there it is, Alexei. How are you feeling?
It's unbelievable. I'm very happy, and now I'm World's Strongest Man 2020.
You certainly
really are. I'm very happy. I don't know explain what I feel. It's, you know, and you know too.
Surreal, yeah, like a dream.
Yes.
Martins, you know Alexei so well. You train together sometimes, and you were giving him words of encouragement. He's going to be an amazing competitor for you next time around. But what do you think about his performance this year?
His performance was truly outstanding. I love to see the fire in Alexei's eyes. Not many strongmen have that. I think his focus is what allows him to be better.
Eddie, what have you made of Alexei?
Just an amazing performance. So young, 24 years old. I genuinely believe that he's going to match, if not better, Mariusz Pudzianowski's record of 5 World's Strongest Man titles, possibly go on to win way more than that.
Thank you very much.
Not before I would do first.
Well, I'm really looking forward, I'm sure we are, to seeing you two go at it next time out in World's Strongest Man. But for now, many congratulations again to you, Alexei. Thank you so much, Martins and Eddie, for taking us through this year's competition. Eddie, we'll do it again next year?
Oh, 100%.
Fantastic. In the meantime, give Thor our regards in Las Vegas.
Don't you worry, it's coming.
I imagine it probably is. To play us out this last time, of course, it's over to Colin Bryce and Danny Weiss.
Well, thanks, James. Thanks, Eddie. And thank you, Colin. It's been a weird year.
Well, thank you very much, Danny. It's been an extraordinary year, good and bad. There's been many dates set for this event, and it finally came off, hurricane or not. A huge thanks to all of the athletes and all of the crew. There's only one World's Strongest Man. That's Alexei.